Nice.
These can be used to store memories or beings to be used as, well, like a library almost. Usually to actually collect like a powerful soul, you usually need something bigger and more expensive than this. But they can be used like to catch spirits or minor beings.
So kind of like Skyrim. Or Elder Scroll.
Sure.
Sorry.
Not knock open.
Knock open. Not knock over.
I'm not going to knock the door over. I don't know what it was made
over
of.
everything.
What is the door made of?
It's the same like metal thing that you saw on the way up here.
Okay.
Whoa! I told you his name was Master. You go first, Rain.
Sorry. Rain goes in.
So what do we see here?
Darting around.
Oh my god, he's so scary.
You see on like a strange, like stone-shaped, like almost crystal-shaped chair of some description, a huge creature sitting. He seems to be, or it seems to be deep in thought. Its hooded head is sort of bowed a bit. He is quite large. He has a very odd clothing on him. Like the robe is like you've never seen. It's a very alien cut to it, let's say. There's a lot of crystals and like light orbs and things attached to it. Like strange threads sort of hanging off, and you see these like paper, almost like paper what do you call it? Like not a mantle, it's like small thin paper clips sort of hanging off from him, scribbled with like weird symbols and stuff. The creature has a large staff next to him, and as you enter, he gets up, takes the staff and to use it to lean on, it seems. The room itself, I mean, the furniture and the function of this room is not easy to guess. There are some very strange crystal formations. There are some alchemical things arranged on this table here. Like these arrangements again look like strange crystal formations set in stone. Like energy leaps from some of them. Some glow and some are just silent. And the whole room sort of is filled with a strange ethereal hum that sort of vibrates through all of it. The creature, gets up with his stuff, looks at you. You don't really see his face. It is in the dark of the hood. You don't really see anything in the hood, actually. It's just blackness. And then you hear its voice. It's quite deep and rumbling. It sort of looks at you. Welcome to my tower. Usually I do not invite visitors, but it was a long time ago, and you did ask politely.
Alauneari nods and sort of bows her head and says, "It is a long time since we have been visitors in a tower such as this." She looks around, especially in such an exotic location as the fungal jungle.
Creature seems to consider and then says, "I would be surprised if you had seen anything like this before. Have you?"
And he sort of, shakes her head slightly, then seems to stop as he says, "We have seen many and much in this jungle that we did not expect when we first came here. This is one such wonder we have found. Luckily, this one has more live inhabitants than the last."
The creature nods. Good, good. That is good news indeed. Seems to consider. Very well. I am master of the tower. He makes a slight bow. Now, how can I be of service?
Alauneari will also make a slight bow. I step forward and says, I am Alauneari of the House Vytharia. These are my siblings, Trislin and Rae'nkalar. I have further family stashed outside, however they didn't seem to be as intrigued by this place as we were. Besides, their presence is not important. First and foremost, I must ask you to indulge my curiosity. What sort of creature are you, and what sort of what do you do here?
The creature looks around and sort of tilts its head a bit. What type of creature I am, you ask? I am first and foremost a tradesman, a merchant, if you will. I travel far and wide, and I have come far and wide to this strange and wonderful systems of caves in search of exotics. You are not the first of your kind. Drow, I think it was, yes? I have come upon. Last time, though, it was not such a friendly meeting.
She sort of looks and says, some would think to attack anything, but with what we have seen in here, that would be simply foolish. There is so much to be gained from speaking and conversing and trading with the inhabitants of this jungle.
The creature laughs. Oh, you misunderstand me, female drow. I was the one attacking. You see, I needed a specimen for my, trading concerns. But do not fear. That particular order has been fulfilled, and I have no reason to hunt your kind as it is now.
Tristan looks forward and goes, "Oh, the stuffed drow."
The creature nods. Yes, that was one I took for my personal collection.
Was it a guy or was it a woman?
It was a guy.
Well, he was pretty.
The creature nods. Thank you for saying so. I thought it was a fine example of your race as well.
Alauneari is about to say that the female is really the paragon, but she changes her mind. she looks at things. So, what sort of trade do you offer? What is your stock, if you will?
The creature seems to consider. I do not have much at present. I have just arrived in your plane. It looks around. I have been traveling this large cave for a couple of months now. Searching. I am afraid I am here fulfilling orders rather than trading with the locals.
Oh, he's from the plains?
Do you ask?
I was saying I was good, but he did say he only just arrived here.
Tristan
Wait,
looks.
what?
Oh, are you from the plains?
The creature nods. Yes, I am.
Tristan
Particular
pulls out.
planes we visited.
Well, Tristan pulls out that stone she has and walks up and says, and shows him the stone. Says, "I don't know how to make it talk."
The large creature.
He has reach, right?
Oh, he has reach.
Okay, good. He can reach it from here.
He reaches out and reaches down, picks up the sliver in his large hand, and looks at it. He seems to muse. Intriguing. Where did you find this?
Tristan tells him where she found it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
You see his stance change a bit. Almost as he is bracing himself or preparing to move quickly. And then he says, somewhat more different in a tone. Was that you that destroyed that pool?
It was not there. We got it. We got it from the wolf. The fungal leader wolf. Jonas.
Yes, I know.
Alauneari looks at him and says, "What pool exactly?"
North.
Throw them around.
He makes a flickering motion with his hand, and you see on the wall here projected like an illusionary map of the fungal jungle, and he points at the rough area with the blue whirlpool.
The one we destroyed.
Yes.
Tristan looked at him.
We did go to look at it at least. What is it exactly? I'm not sure.
It tried to attack me.
What it was, you mean? It is ruined.
Then what was it? We have no idea. We have merely seen it.
Make a bluff check.
Do we get any... is there any feeling that he's hostile now?
He seems to be a little bit more aggressive, yes.
Then
Bad roll.
Sakai would have been next to her.
You lie to me, female drow. It is not wise to do so. Now tell me, what did you do to the pool?
Tristan looks a little scared for her sister, and I walked out on the... I found a path to the middle of the pool because there was one of those stones. When I walked out, a lot of undead attacked me and my siblings protected me.
Yes, but that would only have depleted the pool of the undead trash inside of it. What did you do to the pool itself?
Alauneari looks at him and says, I myself walked out there and I touched the bone-like thing in the middle. That seemed that my divine power shattered it.
Divine
I was rather
power
curious as to
shattered
what
it.
it was.
He looks at Alauneari. You shattered it. Divine power. What kind of power? He sort of peers at you. You get the unsavory sensation that he's actually, looking into the soul of the person he's looking at, and he's looking at Alauneari. Yes, I do feel a dark mark upon you, female drow. Some sort of demon. He seems to consider, yes, I suppose that would have done it.
Was it your pool?
Curses. It was a study object of mine. I had just removed the protections around it, the ancient magics that sustained it, and I was heading back to here to fetch enough instruments to gather up useful samples. But when I returned, the pool was inert. And the fragment shattered.
Alauneari nods. Had we only known then.
It
seems that we have been fortunate to make each other's acquaintance now, so that we both can perhaps aid each other in such research. I'm sure we're both anxious to know what these pools are made of and why they're here. Besides, she looks at him, I have some rather curious questions, if you are indeed from the plains.
Tristan still wants to know about the stone.
Yeah, he still holds the sliver in his hand. Looks at Tristan. It talked to you, you said, completely ignoring Alauneari at this point.
It did, but only for a very short time, then it stopped.
Intriguing.
I myself know stuff about the plains and suggested to Sakari, who's from there and made up from her mind. And I want to know more. I want to know how to get this stone to talk again.
Yeah, looks at it, looks at Tristan. There is something odd about you. As if a taint. Did you touch the obelisk at the center of the pool, perhaps?
I did.
He nods. Yes, that's what I thought. Well, I am happy to say that all my research is not for naught, because you, my dear, are actually possessed.
Tristan looks confused. What do you mean I'm possessed?
When you touched the unprotected and unwarded obelisk at the center of the pool, some of its essence transferred to you.
Huh.
This would have manifested in blackouts, headaches, visions, perhaps whispers.
Yeah, all of that did happen.
He nods.
Is it bad?
Well, it depends on the amount of the possession. It might escalate. It might take years. But in the end, it is most likely that you will either go insane or die.
It's always one of those, huh?
The creature chuckles. Perhaps planar matters are usually quite dangerous for outsiders to engage in.
Tristan looks at Sakari. Did you know any of this?
Sakari just blankly stares.
He can talk. He could be polite.
He isn't, though.
Oh. So, should I get the Tine removed, or should I keep it? And what about the stone?
It is up to you if you wish to keep it. But I can remove it for you if you wish.
Would the Tine give me any good? Would it do me any good?
It is a sliver of madness, my dear. It is a remnant of an ancient battle that stood in these caverns. Keeping it might have benefits for you. I do not think so myself, however, but you are free to persist in this if you wish. Sort of shrugs.
Tristan looks at her families and for guidance.
Rain actually steps forward, gesturing a hand to get his attention.
The master. Rain.
If I may, what kind of ancient battles are we talking?
The master seems to consider. I am not sure, but this cavern is quite large. It was not always like this, according to my information. The battle stood long, long ago. But there are still remnants of this battle, fragments of it, if you will. It warps the reality. The beings that fought here were, he seems to consider, you would call them gods, I suppose.
I see.
And
Looks
from
kinda
the splinters of that battle, the shattered bone, the spilt divine blood, if you will, life arose in these caverns. There is still a powerful sensation in these parts. I have not been able to locate the precise source of it. But I am sure there is something more here. I had hoped that that pool would lead me closer to it. But alas, it is now destroyed by you.
Tristan looks and we saw another pool. We have not seen it for a long time, but it was there the last time we looked.
He gestures to the map.
Tristan points out where we found the pool. Where Miku almost died.
Ah, yes. It's an area I have not yet looked into.
A weird monster came out of it, though. And we didn't... It's still there.
He nods. I see. I will take care when I research it then.
Rain, who has kept a few notes of where we've been, kind of, gestures forward maybe like a small little sketch of the area which he tried to do afterwards from memory. He couldn't do as much detail as he likes to do because, he didn't want to get dragged into the pool, but, got some information on it.
Tristan looks at Alauneari and asks, "Do you think I should have this taint removed?"
Oh, Mary sort of nods. Yes, sister, I think that would be prudent. He looks at the tower master. Says, besides, you should know the Zan considered that pool to be in their territory. Perhaps contacting them before you begin your research would be beneficial, as they would not attempt to remove it once it was unprotected.
Oh, the master seems to consider. The Xan, yes, I have seen some of their kind around and communicated with them. I have not approached their dwelling before, but if you say that this is inside a territory, perhaps I will be forced to do so. Are their defenses solid? Would they notice me encroaching, do you think?
She nods and says they patrol their territory quite frequently. Besides, their city is quite marvelous. It is truly extensive, and if you are of some power, sort of seems to look at him, try to gauge how powerful he is, then there is an incredible being, the eldest of the Zan, whom you might find it interesting to discuss some matters with.
Master nods. Very well. What is the name of this being?
She looks and says, Zan Zara.
Okay. He seems to nod. Very well.
Tristan looks at the master and says, "Can you remove the taint then?"
He nods. Yes, yes, of course, my dear. He seems to make a gesture, and you see a crystal on a nearby table sort of float closer to them.
If I may, I have one question.
Yes.
By what process would removing such a crystal be?
Drop her from the call?
She dropped.
Oh, she dropped. Anyone else? Seems like the quality went worse.
You disconnected, I think.
I disconnected.
No, you disconnected, Sheep.
I disconnected?
We're still talking. You disconnected.
I don't even know.
I don't even know either.
Who knows?
Oh.
Manaki is definitely here, because we can hear.
Yeah, we can hear the static washing over us like a tide.
Tide of eternal static.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jeez.
Do I need to repeat what I said, or?
I don't know. Now Manaki dropped, I think.
No, I'm here. Tina
Okay,
dropped.
Tine dropped.
I'm here now.
Weird. Oh well, internet is coming down, but that's fine. Let's see. What was the question?
By what process would you need to remove such a taint? Rain kind of worriedly gestures to the room behind with the soul crystal.
It is an. He sort of looks at Rae'nkalar. Pardon me, but you do not seem too well versed in the arcane sciences. I doubt you would understand.
No, I am not. Though I do have a basic understanding from your gestures to his siblings what the crystals in there are.
Oh. He nods. Do not worry. I will not harm her. I will only remove that which infects her soul.
Rain looks to Alauneari.
The process is not too painful, and should not pose a too large a risk.
What does Zakari get from him?
He seems to be telling the truth.
Larry just nods. She's fine with it.
Who cares?
She doesn't really like Tristan having some of that thing that she's been feeling around inside of her.
Let's see, Zakari can talk with telepathy to Trislan, right?
Yep, and also speak out loud in any language she knows. So a lot of stuff.
All right. Zakari will send to Trislan that he seems to be honest, although he did notice when Alauneari mentioned Xan Sarah that his posture seemed to change again, and he became quite interested, actually.
Interested in
Although he tried to hide it.
in a harmful way?
No, more like an eager, like Eureka way. He tried to hide it, though. The crystal is still, hovering before him.
I want to know more about it, but how can I,
When you breach the topic.
Yeah, how do I get back to it?
Like mid-operation, answer the question. Like,
I
I
guess he needed for something.
He motions towards the crystal. Now, shall we begin?
Tristan nods.
Nods. Good, good. Now, stand before me, please.
All the way?
No, that is fine. He holds, the crystal floats in front of him. And you see him gripping his staff. And you see like the runes on it start to glow slowly. And a weird sort of chanting, like monotone comes from him. As he seems to move his hand in a strange series of gestures, like painting like runes in the air, basically. And as Trislan looks at this, she gets the feeling that it's like something is, tugging at her soul. As it has like grabbed her like by the hair almost, and like I started pulling. You can make a will check. Will save.
Am I gonna die? Oh god.
Oh dear.
What is my will save? It's the best!
It's the
Plus 2
best.
versus enchantments?
I rolled a 9.
Yeah, it is a thoroughly unpleasant experience for Trislan, as it feels for like almost like an eternity as she is being like pulled apart, like if something almost like some sort of like creature has sunk its hooks into her and now is being pulled out, although the hooks are not really letting go. So she feels almost as if her soul is being frayed, as this like presence, this dark presence, is being pulled from her. And at the height of it, basically, she can feel her mind fracture somewhat. And you take 2 points of wisdom damage.
God damn it. That's gonna take 3 days.
The crystal goes from the clear, slightly clear color it had to take on almost like a smoky black, like tendrils of smoke sort of comes off it. As the master of the tower, gestures, and it floats away and places itself in a small, almost like a stand in the corner. And he nods. It is done.
Thanks.
Looking, Alauneari and Rae'nkalar can see that Trislan seems to be having a nosebleed.
All right. Alauneari looks at the master and says, "Did you create the eye things below by yourself?"
Your volume is very low. Can you speak louder?
Did you create those eye things below by yourself?
The master look. I modified them myself. I bought them from a merchant in the city of Brass.
No, I see. Do you travel there easily?
No one travels to that city easily, dear Lady Drow. It is a precarious place, but I have contacts that make my transition more smoothly. Certain business concerns, you understand. You get the feeling that it's almost smiling at you.
She's still not sure really how powerful this thing is, and she would really like to know sort of what's going on right now. She'll just try to, take a look and gauge how.
Right. How strong is it?
What's she doing? What's she thinking? What's this?
It is like a thoroughly alien creature. It's very hard to read. You don't really see its face either. You get the feeling like you get the uncomfortable feeling that the like robe armor thing it's wearing, maybe it's empty.
Well, she'll ask. So, you said before you were a simple merchant. However, here it seems you're doing quite a fair bit of research, and so I am still curious as to your being. Which plane would you say is your native plane?